Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Tokyo for today's daily challenge. We will have double road tiles, but our Motorways will require them. That's awful. That's horrible. The entire point of the Motorways is that they don't cost roads and are fun and excellent and free and good. Hello, my cat. Hi. Oh, are you meowing at me because you have not been fed this morning, despite the fact that I fed you last morning and last night? Cat? Yeah, you will be fed in approximately 1 hour. I have things to do. The cat has to say hi and to be fed. It is true. She does need these things, and she will be fed, and she has said hi. All of the needs of the kitty are met eventually. The Needs of the Kitty is the name of a Skinamax movie, I think. Oh, no. Oh, we're a minute in, and I've referenced softcore porn and named the episode, so. Oh, God. Okay. Lacey is bored, was here first. Sunflare's Space First in Our Hearts is here as well. Let's take, I don't know, man. I guess we'll take a roundabout first. I like roundabouts more than traffic lights. Are they more useful? Yes, but it's beside the point. We'll bulldoze this tree. Sorry about that tree. Off goes this. We're going to restructure this road simply to make it look better, because I hate the tiny hairpin corners when you just go from this square to that square. It is a little bit faster, but I don't care. Cats always act like they haven't been fed in 2 years. This is true. Meanwhile, they have the belly. You can jiggle the belly. It's as if they are consisting entirely of 3 bowls of soup. Not just that they had 3 bowls of soup. They are 3 bowls of soup. The furry little 3 bowls of soup cat. All right. We got this blue here. We got this blue here. Eventually, we'll get another blue house to serve this blue business, presumably. If we don't, well, it'll be a short episode. Lord knows we can't have any of those. Speaking of things the Lord knows we have to pave this island because, well, it's just legitimately bad to not do it. It's suboptimal strategizing to leave a big hunk of land in the middle of the water, what you gotta bridge stuff off of just to get stuff to stuff. To hell with that. It's worth the dozen or so road tiles it takes to pave this island to not have to worry about multiple bridges coming off of it in directions. It's just smart, I think, and assume. One day I should probably, try. God, that applies to so much of my life. By try in this context, I mean watch people who also produce videos and such. You know, spend a day or an hour or something watching some Drawing Dead and really analyzing his technique. Y'all should go watch Drawing Dead. He's a much more successful streamer, YouTuber type person who does this and other similar stuff with this and other similar games. Lacey is donating blood today if your iron deficiency decides to like you today. That can be an issue. I have a weird pseudo not quite anemia that my family just calls the cursed bloodline because we have a genetic blood disorder. It's not generic. That's the problem. It's like one of those things that non-hematologists have either never heard of or haven't heard of in so long that they're like, what? So, that's fun. It's also one of those things that when a layperson tells a doctor they have it, the doctor is like, no, you don't. No, you have anemia and Googled something. And then you have to be like, nope. Nope, don't. Nope, didn't. God. Oh, stretch. Oh, my arms and self. Those are 2 separate things. They both hurt. And I didn't pave this island quickly enough. God damn it. You see what happens when you don't pave islands? You see what happens when you leave these little hunks of land in the middle of the water to fend for themselves? They do shit like this. Not this particular shit. This particular shit is just Tokyo being Tokyo. This particular shit, right down here. Hello, cat. Hi. No, don't lick the power strip. That'll end very badly. Cannot encourage you enough to not lick the power strip. God, the things you say to animals. All right, these purples are going to come over to here. We're just going to steal this yellow road, and we're going to continue it off in a thisly direction, and then get down here and swing you up this way, I suppose. That seems feasible. Although, hold on. Actually, this pink circle is going to screw over... Well, it's going to help these purples, I think, actually. Because, you see, what we can do now is cut this corner this way. Make it a much smoother and shorter transition point for the purples going that way. Because these southern pinks are now going to come up here, serve this business. Lacey wants to know if she can lick the power strip, and no, I would advise against it, but I'm not your boss. How about that? I'm not in charge of you, Lacey. Let's see. We got 5 pinks down here, making this a, frankly, over-supported business, but, you know, details. What are we going to do? We're going to take another bridge, because we only have 2 of them. Awful. I could put a traffic light right here if I had, you know, traffic lights. Doesn't seem like a horrible idea. If I get traffic lights, actually, I can pull these purples off, pull them onto a side street, do a traffic light here, and then a traffic light here. That actually seems like it would be good and helpful, so should probably do that, which, gasp. Just came up with a plan that involves being good and helpful? What the fuck am I doing? It's an awful thing. Why would you want to do this? Why would we prolong existence? A question for the ages, or perhaps a therapist. But the ages are cheaper. You know, you just kind of gotta wait, and they'll eventually get there. So, let's see here. These blues are, well, hold on now. Hi. Lovely meeting you here, dark blue business. All right, well, it's Sunday night, so let's not wait until, I don't know, Carrie Underwood says we've been waiting all day for it? I don't remember. Okay, so we took a motorway. And I think what we're going to do is completely restructure some stuff, actually. We're going to point the purples up this way. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 and boop. And they, in turn, shall boop. This too shall boop is one of the titles of the episode. Motorway number 2 will straight shot these dark blues over this way. Don't mind me. Just noting my mild funniness for the historical record. Next. It cracked me up. Let's see here. We've got these yellows, which are going to come this way and then go over that away. Off we go. Lacey started playing Persona 5 recently. I own Persona 5 and yet don't have it. I gave a copy, I lent my copy to our dear friend Bagunicorn, something on the order of several years ago now. I think it was either before or at the start of the pandemic that I lent my copy of Persona 5 to Bagunicorn, and I am unaware if they've ever played it. It's one of those games that I'm like not in a rush to play, but probably play at some point, maybe. There's infinite time in the universe after all, right? We've established this. Oh, let's see here. Sunny finished knitting a sock yesterday. Ooh, it's one of those things like, I'm curious. Sunflare Space. You say you're excited to make the second one, and that is good. Do you feel a sense of accomplishment? You must feel a sense of accomplishment after having knitted one sock, even knowing that, like, if you don't finish this thing for whatever reason, you have made a sock. Like, I'm not here to say that a sock has no value, but it's a sock. You feel incredibly accomplished. Good. I was not trying to dunk on sock knitting or anything. I was legitimately curious. It is a skill and hobby and art form of which I have no experience and also no talent. So, was curious. These yellows over to here I think we're just going to unlit intersection this for right now, and traffic lights are becoming an actual need item, which is a weird and terrible thing to say. Sunny posted this picture of the sock in the Discord channel. If you're not in the Discord, damn it, you should be. Links in the description of the YouTube channel and in the chat of the Twitch right this very moment. We'll take a fourth bridge rather than a second roundabout. They're probably equally likely to be used, which is to say, probably not, but we'll see. Got a couple of beiges down here. Y'all can swing this way. And some dark blues for that. Dark blues might be a little bit problematic, actually. Getting, how exactly do we intend to get dark blues down that way? Game, if we thought through how we're going to get dark blues down that way? Do we have a plan for... Alright, well, this beigeness here is simple enough. We just kind of poke an extension onto motorway number 1. This dark blue, though, like, we could get there with 2 bridges and 1,000,000 miles of road, which is probably less commitment, honestly, than it would take to bridge over this way. Hold on. Let's do this. I'm going to move motorway number 2 such that now these 1, 2, 3 dark blues right here take motorway number 2 into the western entrance of this double plaza, serve this business. Meanwhile, these dark blues right here, yeah, look at that. This is a simple little straight shot road, basically. It's got an curve in it. You go over to here. This will be fine. We can sneak another rose goldy color right into here. Lacey is bored, has joined the Discord server. Hooray. I'm one step closer to figuring out a way to, I don't know, what does a person do with a Discord server anyway? Foster a sense of community and friendship? Gasp. Sounds fake. This is the most conveniently placed purple in the history of the world. Bottom right here, we got these 2 over that way. Totally cool. You swing in like such. We won't even bulldoze these trees. You're welcome, trees. How rare do we get to say that? Another blue over here, ultimately for this bluesness. And another purple for this. Hey, buddy, if you wanted to go circular, or if you wanted to go circular, or if you wanted... There are like 3 businesses here where, like, if they wanted to go circular, not the end of the world. This one, this one, this one, totally fine. The actual circles are a little bit dicey, to be honest. We're going to bulldoze that tree. Sorry about that tree. Ow. Ow, my nose. Hi there, you were not one of the approved circles. You did not get pre-rounding approval. Hold on. Why are you... Arg. Okay. Well, we'll take another motorway, which is good. We presently have... so this is what, 8 now? Yeah, I think we're just going to kind of continue the loop at this point. We're sort of committed to this whole motorway number 1 double gambit. I could split that up into 2 motorways, but that seems dumb. That seems pointless and silly. So, here's another purple over for here. You are also pre-approved. Here's another one that just gets the A-OK for rounding. Now, you know what doesn't get the A-OK for rounding anymore? is this purple business. Hold on. We're going to kill this traffic light. We're going to kill this road. We're going to kill and restructure and reroute this yellow nonsense. Yeah, this yellow nonsense is getting a rewrite. You're going to go up all the way over to there, okay? The yellows here are just going to fucking avoid all of this purple bullshit. And the purple bullshit is going to get a motorway. U5, right down there. Bing, bang, boom. That is going to make life so much easier for everyone, really. It's going to mean that these yellows don't have to deal with purples on their road. They just have this traffic light situation going on. It means that these purples don't have to deal with yellows on their road. They have a straight shot motorway smack dab into the gaping maw of this purple circle. So it'll be fine. It'll all be totally and completely fine. Here, I'm even going to take a second and third traffic light because I'm being, I don't know, man. It was helpful once. We found an actually good traffic light. A rare and special thing indeed. Let's see here. You are a purple that can go that way. You are a dark blue, which, you know, I have an excess of road tile, and these dark blues here are kind of being used for stuff, so we're going to do something a little bit silly, mostly because we won't be punished for it. I'm going to draw this long, ridiculous road here, get these 1, 2, 3 dark blues, swing down south, grab that. And now we have the question of how we're going to deal with this purple business. I could theoretically just do this, just kind of extend this motorway. I sort of don't hate that, honestly. Hold on. If we, yeah, I want to center the roundabout there, but I can't. So if I kind of don't hate this. I kind of don't love it, but it's probably better than other immediately available options. Huh. I could theoretically, here are some pinks that are just going to get tossed off in a thatly direction. You can connect here, should you ever be needed. I think we're basically fine. Oh, hi. More pinks this way. Fine and good. Let's chop this, and I'm just going to chop these 3 pinks, I think. We'll come up here. You'll be chopped there. Lacey is back. Hello, Lacey. I was gonna do something with something and I forgot what it was. Hey, look, this light blue business is fucked. That's a problem. Let's see. How do we solve a problem like your fuckedness? Good question. Let's re-examine the issue of this motorway, this roundabout right here. And potentially, yes. By doing that, we've got these light blues right here. Ow, ow, itchy, 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 itchy. Face my mustache. Ow, it itches. It itches. So itchy. All right, give me a third bridge. So now we've got these light blues that come up here into this roundabout. Some of them go east to serve this square business, but others of them take this nice little northwestern spur right here. They go up into this other roundabout, which then hoops this way and this way to support this dying circle. Hopefully make it a, thriving and living circle. Thriving and living circles tend to be better for your score than dying circles. But, you do you. No shade to the death mages among us. Presumably there are some of them. People enjoy Dragon Age : the Veil Guard after all. Let's see here. I think we're just going to let that be. This little beigeness down here is the most supported beige square in the history of the world. So, if you wanted to go circular, buddy, pre-approved. You are pre-approved for a line of credit of being a fucking circle. More purples for up here. This blue is still dying despite having been saved. So, it's rude. Lacey does magic, but without the blood or death. Presumably that means, sleight of hand, card trick sort of things. Which is also fun. One of the many things that I see every once and again on YouTube Shorts is a video of Teller, yes, Teller, talking his way through how he does a sleight of hand-based card trick. And it's a good, impressive trick. The way he moves his mouth and words come out. He very rarely does such a thing. Let's see here. This dark blue business is getting a little angry. Can probably assist that, actually. Not so much in the getting angry, but in the being alive sense. We're going to take these two dark blues, which had previously been doing nothing, staple them to this road, apply a traffic light. This will be just fine. Now, this light blue here, however, remains borked. How do we unbork you? I think what we're going to do is we're just going to yoink like 5 dark blues. And I think we're just going to yoink like 5 of these dark blues. And we're going to swing them around and up. And by doing that, we add 10 more cars into this particular ecosystem, which, eventually, assuming things don't effing die first, well, never mind, the thing effing died first, so, Sonny wants to do nature magic and witchery. 1,818 commuters over 86 days. Top 25% in the world, which is not nothing. It is also like 1,000 dudes less than Samurai Sam, which, phrasing. Drop those slams in the chat if you've got them, and bring all of these wordly dealies here over to there. Hit that Luma Wipe button. Here is the Wordle. The Wordle today, we were just talking about it, is magic. The Wordle today is magic. Hello, P to S. We have an A and an M in the word. The Wordle today is... well, it can't be charm because there's no C. Unfortunate. The Wordle today is alarm. It could well be alarm. 2 different places where the A might go. And we found out where the A goes. And we know that the M doesn't go there. So, that's something. The cannot be smart because we know there's no R. It could be smamp. Now, granted, that's not a, word, but small detail. It could be shame. It could well be shame. Thank you, Catholicism. Shame is never far from my mind. Thank you, Catholicism, one of the titles of the episode, obviously. Nothing like increasing the level of religious jokes just before Easter. It'll be fun. We're getting warmed up for stuff. A couple of days from now would be a better day for it. It would be a pretty good Friday. I'm so funny. Aren't I? So... okay. Someone threw out the tiny bit of Worcestershire sauce that Lacey had, and oh no. Yeah, Worcestershire is something that you can keep a very small amount of and still have a useful amount of. That's bad. Sunflare Space notes that today is Trans Day of Visibility. Happy that, trans people. I see you. I don't know, man. Whoa, Lacey's visible. Holy crap. What happens? Hold on. What happens if the invisible man starts questioning their gender and becomes the invisible person? Do they just lose their powers? I should probably stop with the jokes. I am much, much, much more comfortable making jokes at the expense of the Catholic Church than I am at the potential expense of my trans friends. Folks, that's called punching up. That's called punching up would also be, 1, a decent title for the episode, and 2, a thing that a script doctor does. So, what do we have here? This word is a good question, actually. The word is, can't be Shamu. There's no H, and that's a whale. It can't be whale for a great number of reasons. What is this word, actually? Can't be scamp. There's no C. Scamp is spelled with a C, right? Like, this is not a word. Yeah, no. But this is a word. And it's a bad guess because we know it could be stamp. Stamp. That's the... There's no... Swamp. Oh my fucking God. The amount of Magic the Gathering I have fucking put my brain through in the past, let's say 2 months. Taken a hard swing into a hyperfixation on casual but trying to win Magic the Gathering. Took me that long to think of the word swamp. Well, we got there. And that's what matters. Let us do some time guessing. All right, this Jeep is either headed for or more likely coming from or property of the Ministero Telecomunicazioni, which, great. We've also got a trattoria, a bottiglieria, and Gia Concordia. Hold on. How much more horrible can my Italian accent get? Plenty. We have our Sartos. We have our Beneficias. Are we sure this is Italy? Because Italian is one of those languages that sounds a little like Spanish sometimes. By sometimes, I mean like literally all the time. But man, there's a lot of things that we're pretty sure is Italian here. Also, there is that. There is the tiny little bit of that. Just a wee small bit of, that. All right, fine. We're in Rome in 1942. Yeah. We're in Rome in 1942. We shall do as the Romans of 1942 do. Although we won't, because that would involve worshiping Mussolini, which is bad. Don't do that. Let's see here. That's 1947. Oh, Peter S. noted that it was an American Jeep, and it is indeed. That was a song, wasn't it? It's an American Jeep. No. It's coming to your town. It might just run you down. It's an American Jeep. I'll stop. I promise I'll stop. Next, we have a flag that says IRA. Oh, selling tax advice? Interesting. Although, yeah. Imagine being a person alive in 2026 America and saying, oh, you should plan for the future. Oh, God. I have an IRA. Just dunking on myself right now. Okay, so this is, we're in Ireland here. These are also, they're somewhat more famous letterings happening with IRA there. And that particular flag. All right, so we're at an Irish barracks of some sort. The question is, are we in Northern Ireland or Ireland? And I'm pretty sure I named both of those countries correctly. This is another one of those where I don't actually want to fuck it up. Yeah, we are going to say we are in Belfast, Northern Ireland? Is that too cheeky? Is that a wee tad too cheeky? I think that might be a wee tad too cheeky. We are in Dublin, Ireland in 1972? Yeah. No, that seems That seems a little silly. We are in I mean, I look at the teeming, thronging mass here, and I'm like, oh, this might be 19 dickety something. And then I look at these guys, and it's like, holy shit, it's the 80s. So... Now, if I was a person who actually knew history, I would be able to say, well, the height of the Irish nationalism crisis was in 1970 when Seamus O'Finnegan exploded a thing. Did the guy deserve it? Well, that's kind of the central heart of the crisis. "90 seconds ago, I said that I wanted to be very careful with this topic, lest I say something offensive. And then I just said that Seamus O'Finnegan exploded a thing." Is probably the blithest summation of the troubles. I think that's what the troubles are that any person has ever given. We are in Dublin, Ireland in 1937. I'm just ignoring these guys and I'm going with the rest of my gut. This is a terrible... We are in Dublin, Ireland in 1950. 1937 would have been better. God damn it. Next. Oh, we're at Sabret. And also... Oh, okay, so we're in New York, by which we mean Manhattan. Oh, hey. You're, That's Mike Bloomberg. Okay. So this is presumably when he was the mayor or something. Fair enough. So that was a while ago now. I might be able to narrow this down, but I can. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what this says about me as a person. I'm part of the reason I'm able to, because Mike Bloomberg was mayor of New York for a while. I can narrow down the year of this photo based on this can of Sprite. Oh. Because this was not a long-used design for Sprite. I think this might have been... No, they had something similar for Sprite Zero. But this is very early 2000s. We're talking this is probably 2004, 2006, something like that. Lacey doesn't know anything about New York. Well, Lacey, the one thing you need to know is that when people say they're in New York... and give no qualifiers whatsoever, almost universally. Listen, New York is a big fucking state, right? See, it's large. It's a good-sized hunk of land here in comparison to other ones up and down the eastern seaboard. So New York is a big fucking state, right? And New York is also a big fucking city. Top 10 at worst, most important cities in the whole entire world is the city of New York. And yet, whenever anyone says they're in New York, without fail, they mean they're on the island of Manhattan. Because anything that happens to anyone who just thinks of New York, they're actually thinking of Manhattan. To wit, we are at, I don't know, is that City Hall? That might be City Hall. We're just going to assume that we're somewhere near City Hall or something. See if I can find it quickly. It appears as though I can't, so we're just going to say that we're somewhere down here. We are on the island of Manhattan in New York in, I'm going to say 2006. It was 2010. And oh, hey, that's Dave Cameron. Also, we were on Manhattan. Whenever anyone says they're in New York, they mean they're in and on Manhattan, which is in New York, and also which is New York. Don't say this to people from New York State. They'll get very mad at you. Oh, Lord. Next, we've got some... Oh, hi. Thank God this is Russian. Okay. We zoom in on the newspaper, and we can't read the newspaper, but we can see that it's in Russian. Yay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pull anything from this. Hey, look, it's dudes on a hill. Yep. Sure was some dudes on a hill, Sam. Good morning, Samurai Sam. We are in Russia. Specifically, we're in... I don't know, man. Moscow, don't move the thing. I'm going to say Moscow, don't move the thing. 19, don't move the thing feels a little bit aggressive for this, but yeah, I feel decent about it. We are in Moscow, Russia, which is right over here. I'm not listening. You're cheating and trying to throw me off. We are in Moscow, Russia in 19, don't move the thing. We are in Moscow, Russia in 1967. Aha! Works for me. Next. Hi there, dude who might be in the Tour de France or might be in some other bike race. Probably some other bike race. Given I don't know, there are probably Colombian cyclists who run the Tour de France every now and then. They don't run the Tour de France in a hill in what is very obviously Africa, now that you look at the photo for more than 2 seconds and see more than just the cyclist. But, you know. So when Africa moves, Volkswagen moves, which probably isn't as ominous as it comes across. They probably didn't mean that to be, you know, threatening in the way it sort of comes off as. But, all right, so this is the Manzi family shop. You can get a whole bunch of consumer goods, including but not limited to a soccer ball. If I was a person who recognized country codes, this phone number would be helpful, but I'm not. Navami Rambo. Okay. If I was a person who recognized the city Navami Rambo, that would be helpful to me. Or Kigali. Oh, that's French. Oh. Well, okay. The fact that it's French is helpful, but only so helpful. Because, like, all right. So we know it's in Africa because of the Africa, right? We know it's in Africa, which is this. I will now encircle the portions of Africa which have been directly affected by French imperialism. Oh, look. It's just Africa. Peter S. thinks Kigali is in Uganda. If I was a person who recognized flags, I would be able to say, oh, look, the flags of Uganda, which, I don't know, those might be the flags of Uganda. That's possible. These are the cell phones of Uganda, so that's nice. This is the most stoic, emotionless expression on a dude giving what appears to be a thumbs up I have ever seen. This is one hard-ass motherfucker. He's a very cool dude, encouraging this cyclist. Take joy and inspiration from this man, Mr. Suarez. All right. Yeah, Uganda's as good a choice as any. I will now, okay, I will now draw a circle which I'm reasonably sure encompasses Uganda. It's not all of the point is I don't know exactly where Uganda is. We're gonna have to find it. The good news is it's a country, so it's, you know, they're a decent size generally. You got the DRC and Rwanda and Burundi and hey, Uganda. That didn't take forever. We got Kampala and Entebbe and Masaka, and what are we looking for? Kigali. Okay. Hopefully if we slowly zoom into Uganda, we'll see a dot on the map that calls itself Kigali. Not yet. Iganga, Jinja, Kiboga, Metiana, Entebbe, Mubende. There's Mayuge and Kayunga, Namasuba. I do not see Kigali. What? Nope, that was Kamuli. Thought for a second it might be. Rwanda? I mean, yeah, it could be Rwanda. Nope. What about... Hold on. What if we just go a little bit more French and just take a peek here at Cote d'Ivoire, because there's there's countries with proper French titleage going on here. I missed it? I missed it. It's in Rwanda. Okay. All right. So we'll go back to Rwanda. Apparently I missed it. There's Muhanga and Kibuye and Butare and Bukavu and Yumbo. That is a very long... Oh, there's Kigali. All right. We are in Kigali, Rwanda, which we're going to say we're right about there. In... Let me look at these phones again. 20... Oh, hi. This right here. It's like 2022. It's 2025. And we were right there. Final score today was right there on the screen, plain as day. Oh. I hope you mean Kigali and not the year. Hopefully there wasn't a big old banner that said 2025 Kigali Bike Race. Would have been bad for me. Oh, final score 42-482. That sure is a number. And now, for today's stat pad, we need stolen bases for Brewers infielders. Of course I won by cheating. That's the best way to win, unless you're good at things. But I'm not good at things, so... we need stolen bases for a Brewers infielder, stolen bases for a Ray, stolen bases for anyone who played in the 2016 World Series, a Mariner in the last 10 seasons, and a Nationals outfielder in the last 15. All right. Brewer from 1980 to 2025. My first thought is... Ricky Weeks? Ricky Weeks was fast, reasonably. When would Ricky Weeks have been good? Yeah, we're going to say Ricky Weeks. I think it's Rick with a Y, Weeks. Nope, it's not. It's Rick with an IE. Ricky Weeks played from 2003 to 2017. We're going to say 2010 Ricky Weeks. Had 11 stolen bases and is slightly below average. Boo. All right, 1980 to 2025. The question here is, which year of Carl Crawford am I going with? A Tampa Bay Ray, Carl Crawford, 2002 to 2016. How do we feel about 2007 Carl Crawford? 2007 Carl Crawford had 50 stolen bases, 97th percentile. Good job, Goog. Anyone who played in the 2016 World Series. The 2016 World Series was Tigers and Cardinals, I believe. And the Cardinals won it. That sounds right. No, wait. I'm thinking of the 2011 World Series. The 2016 World Series was Guardians and Cubs, which means the answer is Rajai Davis, right? Although he wasn't really a full-time player. He was just like a pinch-runny fast dude. Was there anyone who was a full-time player who was like a super fast dude? Yeah, the 2016... Okay. 2016 World Series was Guardians Cubs. Yeah, it's just Rajai Davis. Massively overthinking this. We are going with 2016 Rajai Davis. That is the answer. Congratulations, we have found the correct one. Good job, Goog. A Seattle Mariner from 2015 to 2025. Julio Rodriguez's rookie year? Because 2015, you're definitely past Ichiro's, his first time with the Mariners. I think his comeback with the Mariners was after this, but he was also washed by the time of his comeback with the Mariners. So, yeah, my first thought is Julio Rodriguez's rookie year. There might have been maybe like a J.P. Crawford season. We're just going to say rookie Julio Rodriguez. So that'll be 2022 Julio Rodriguez. 25 stolen bases, 87th percentile. Good job, Goog. Next, we need a Nationals outfielder in the last 15 years. This is gonna be bad. I need 30 steals to... Oh, boy. Okay. Bryce Harper, in his youth, was not terribly fast, even then. Like, rookie or second-year Bryce Harper might have gotten to double-digit steals, but he certainly didn't get a bunch. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't think of too many Nationals outfielders is the problem. And the ones I can think of are all slow and bad and kind of played in the late 2000s. Nyjer Morgan? I know he was a Nationals outfielder. I don't know if he fits the time frame, though. I think he predates this. Lacey is bored. Would like. Okay. Lacey is bored while we're thinking of Nationals outfielders. Would like to know the good place point value of eating a hot-like bucket of various wings that had in writing, "Love ya, bub," and then later realizing that your mom wrote that for your dad, and those are your dad's wings, not yours, as there are multiple people she calls bub, and later having to joke it off. Well, first of all, Lacey, your mother is Wolverine. That's the first thing. Your mother is Wolverine. The only person who has ever called another person bub is Wolverine. So, congratulations, I guess, that your mother is Wolverine? Title of the episode? Maybe? Your mother is Wolverine? Second thing. Okay, so what this boils down to is you accidentally ate food that was intended for someone else and then turned it into a joke. Now, I'm going to break this into two things. Accidentally eating food that is intended for another person without knowing context of how obvious it should have been that this wasn't for you, it feels like, given the bub of it all, given the plurality of bub, I don't think it's reasonable to say that this was definitely not intended for you. Apparently, like, if there was a legitimate, honest thought in your mind that this could have been for you, and it's reasonable for that thought to have been there, the act of eating the food, neutral. It's a mistake. There's no ill intent. There's no bad will. There's no hostility or animosity or vile or venom. It's a mistake. So the act of eating the food, 0 good place points. Neither positive nor negative. It is what it is. Turning it into a joke could go either way. Because either, like, you're lying about this, which is bad, or you're taking good-natured fun poking at your mother and saying, hey, Mr. Jackman, also mom, maybe be more clear with your bub labeling. And clarity of bub labeling is very important. It's a thing that needs to happen. So maybe a little bit of good-natured Josh ribbing is in order when someone lacks clarity in their bub labeling. So, I will say, I'm going to say that this whole experience is just 0 good place points. This is you know what? Actually, I think about it a little bit more. I'm giving a lot of good faith. There's a lot of positive spin here, Lacey. 0 points for eating the food. +2 for turning it into a funny family joke. I'm going to give +2 good place points for the act of turning it into a funny joke and then an additional plus 0.1 good place point for every funny invocation of the funny family joke in perpetuity. So you're getting 2 right off the bat for making it a joke, and then if it becomes a running gag in your family for years and it has a legend that lasts forever, anytime anyone invokes that, both they and you receive 0.1 good place point. That is my ruling. That is the good place point value of the crisis of bub labeling. Crisis on infinite bubs. I think the crisis was actually a DC storyline, but how often does one get to say crisis on infinite bubs? That's the title of the episode. God. 5 of these. YouTube only lets me do 3. My audience measures in the dozens. I don't need 5 titles for my episodes. Anyway. A Nationals outfielder from 2010 to 2025 who stole a bunch of bases is, we're just going to go with 2010 Niger Morgan. Is the correct answer. Good job, Goog. Good. Brewers infielder would have been, Jonathan Villar. That's a name that I've heard of. Pat Listash, sir, is a human who existed. Bryce Terang used to be fast. Good for him. Was it another Carl? Yeah, it's another Carl Crawford season. I was thinking maybe the year before he became a free agent, but yeah. Several Carl Crawford seasons count because dude was really fucking fast. Dude was so fucking good until he wasn't good. Oh, God. Julio Rodriguez did a fine job for himself. Malix Smith, or a second better Julio Rodriguez season would have been the answers there. Oh, well. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. The plan is that I will be back later tonight for Hades 2, but also I should note that I have a job that is scheduled to run from 10 to 6 today. So if that runs even like 90% of the scheduled time, I'm going to want to not be in this computer chair anymore. So we'll see. As always, check the Discord server. And we should be back tomorrow morning. Yeah, we should be back tomorrow morning. That should be fine. Have a good night, everybody. Good night. Well, have a good night after having a good day. This is the end screen. Bye.